What's up everybody, and welcome back to Ben's Big Drive. Now, 3 things shaped my early disc golf career and are the reason that I'm making this video. I played baseball, played ultimate frisbee, and every single hole at my home course was off to the right. You may see where I'm going with this. Early in my career, I was almost entirely a forehand player, and only after years of hard work and practice did I develop a backhand throw. Now, as I started branching out and playing tournaments, I noticed that people with a different athletic background than me struggled throwing forehands if they even threw them at all. Because the fine motor skills involved in throwing a forehand are completely different than that of a backhand, and some people don't naturally have that experience from other sports. Well, I'm here to show you the mechanics of what it takes to get a clean forehand release that doesn't wobble and doesn't burn into the ground, so that even if your maximum distance with a forehand is 100 feet, you can still have a great tool in your bag that helps you get out of trouble, play the wind better, and give you closer putts every single time. Now let's dive in. So the first key to having a clean forehand release is to have a grip that doesn't wobble at any sort of angle within your hand. If you can't hold your disc at every single angle from extreme hyzer to upside down scuba without any sort of wobble, when you come to load up and to pull that disc through, that disc is gonna find that weak spot in your hand, and that's gonna create wobble when you pull through. I promise that when you go to put energy into the disc, your disc will find that weak spot in your hand, it'll jar loose, and that clean release that you were looking for won't be possible. Look at how an ultimate frisbee player goes to set up to throw a flick with the defender in front of them. They have to be able to fake and to change their angle depending on where their defender is and which target they decide to throw to. Now, this wouldn't be possible if they didn't have a solid grip on the disc that allowed them to change angles at any moments, and this is the type of grip that we want to have with our forehands that allows us to, when we get in the woods or when we're forced into a sticky situation, we have the control at every single angle to where we can throw that forehand without wobble and know that it's going to come out clean. Now, the most popular forehand grip and the grip that I use for every single one of my forehand shots is the 2-finger stacked grip, and I'm going to show you why I love it so much. First of all, the disc is cupped into this gap between my thumb and my pointer finger snugly, which gives me way more control of the disc and will allow me to keep it from moving around as I pull through. Secondly, your longest finger, your middle finger, is tucked into where the flight plate and the rim of the disc meet. And this is the main propellant of the disc, your middle finger. Now, your pointer finger is stacked behind your middle finger to add power, but the beautiful thing about your pointer finger is that it actually works with your thumb to control the angle of the disc and to support all of the extra weight of the disc that hangs out over your hand. One of the biggest reasons people have wobble in their forehands is because their grip is more focused on pinching the rim of the disc rather than supporting the weight of the disc. If the weight of the disc is supported, your snap and spin energy is transferred to the whole disc rather than just the rim, which will eliminate a ton of wobble. To get a feel for this, go grab an ultimate disc or a lid and get a feel for supporting all of that extra weight in a comfortable grip in your hand. This will over-exaggerate the weight of the disc and show you what it feels like to have the weight of a disc controlled in your hand. Now, the second key to having a clean forehand release is understanding how the disc should come out of your hand. And a lot of this has to do with your backswing. Now, watch how even on the shortest of forehand chips, forehand throwers will cock that disc back before they go to pull it through. This is really evident with ultimate frisbee players. Just watch how they get so much distance just by cocking the wrist back and flinging the disc forward. Now, what these players are doing, in addition to reaching back so that they have room to pull forward with their elbow, what they're most importantly doing is they're giving that disc backwards momentum so that when they go to pull through, that disc weight is tugging against and being dragged by the fingertips. Now, just like in a backhand throw, how the key to getting snap and spin is leading with your elbow and having your wrist and the disc be the last thing that snaps through out of your whole body, in a clean forehand, your elbow leads the forward motion and your fingertips are the last thing that snaps through in your throw. Now, what this does not mean is that every forehand you throw, your elbow comes all the way back and your wrist follows behind it like it does for a backhand throw. Now, for max distance forehand shot, that might be the case, but our focus here is not distance, but a clean release. Your arm might only move 4 inches in the course of a good forehand chip shot, but the key here is not how much your arm moves, but what starts the movement in your throw. When you go to pull your forehand through, no matter how big of a swing you're taking, the first thing to start the pull through should always be the elbow. Doing so will create a natural ripple effect that naturally causes your fingertips and the disc to be the last thing that comes through and puts your grip and your fingers in 100% control of where the disc is going. And this will add spin to your shot, which increases accuracy and eliminates wobble and will give you extra glide out on the course. Now watch how when I just simply jerk my elbow forward, my hand and fingers naturally recoil and make that snapping motion. Now I'm not doing anything at all with my wrist, it is completely limp. All I'm doing is jerking my elbow forward, and this natural snappy motion is the result. Now one way that you can get a feel for this is to bring the disc back quickly and feel it load up onto your fingertips and snap the elbow through rather than your wrist, and feel how the weight of that disc is all carried by your fingertips. And all that's left after that point is to snap your fingers through at the release point and finish palm to the sky so that you don't roll your wrist over. Now the last key to having a clean, snappy, and spinny forehand is to have the right amount of pressure on your grip for the right speed or distance of your shot. Think about a backhand for a second. We do this with backhands without even thinking about it. The reason that you don't putt with a power grip or you don't drive with a putting grip is because a power grip requires a lot of power for that disc to pop out, and a putting grip requires very little power for that disc to pop out. Now with a forehand, we only have one grip, so we have to adjust the amount of tension in our grip to the speed of the shot that we need to throw. If your grip is too loose for the speed of your shot, it will come out early and hyzer out and finish right. And if your grip is too tight, you'll end up grip locking it and you'll end up rolling your wrist and burning it into a ground. Go out to the field and try a bunch of different distances and get a feel for the level of tension necessary for your forehand shots between your fingers and your thumb. And once you get this down, I promise it'll become second nature. So to get that buttery smooth release, first, subscribe to the channel. Second, find a grip that allows you to hold the disc firmly at any angle. Third, start the disc with your elbow to make sure that the disc loads up onto your fingers. Give it the right amount of pinch in your grip for the speed and distance you're throwing, and you'll be throwing Nate Sexton sidearms in no time. So for more buttery smooth form videos like this one, subscribe to the channel to up your game and to follow my journey to becoming a pro disc golfer. That's it for this one, and follow along for more of Ben's Big Drive.